Hi everyone, I thought some of you might like to see Pixie. As you know, she's ready to deliver her babies any day soon. So that's why I'm keeping her in the cage. We don't pick her up too often. She's kind of due every day now. I checked her this morning. I kind of hoped they would be born this morning. I've been hoping that for a while. We actually got her due dates a little bit mixed up and I thought she was due at Christmas. But she is due any time this week. As you know, it's not an exact science knowing when a guinea pig will be born. But yeah, so I haven't got her out the cage because it's not really fair to pick her up. But as you can see from behind, she's eating her dinner. She is incredibly heavily pregnant from above. She's on a par with Gypsy, and you can see little ripples there. I think she's actually started having contractions this morning. She's on a par with the size of her mother, so she's definitely having more than 3 babies, but other than that I wouldn't like to speculate. She's doing really well. You can see that her coat's really lovely and she's incredibly healthy. I'm sorry that it's not much light, but we obviously don't want her in like direct sunlight if she wants to have her babies, because they do like to have them around dusk or dawn, so we don't want her to be hanging on if it's not dusk or dawn. So this is the cage that she's in. She's in the Fairplast 120, and I've taken out kind of like all the huts and things, because if you leave in a hut that you can't see through, you run the risk of not knowing the babies have been born or not knowing when she's in trouble when you're around. So it's best not to have a hut but actually cover over the cage, which is what I've done at this end here. It's all covered over with fleeces, and she has her bed there, so if she wants to have them there or on the ground, then that's entirely up to her. The only hut I have that I would be able to see her through is the individual guinea pig igloo, and I don't really think that's big enough for her to move around in and give birth and things. So yeah, that's my choice. And I haven't really done any videos on caring for pregnant guinea pigs and things because a lot of my subscribers are really quite young, and I don't want to glamorise breeding in any way. If you want to know how Pixie got pregnant, I do have a video on that, so that should answer all your questions. Yeah, so they're due any day now, and I have some money aside in case she has to go to the vet. That's another thing, you know, if you don't have a spare £100 to £200 or money for a vet's bill, I really don't recommend doing anything like this. So I have £300 sitting in my savings account just in case anything goes wrong. And I have a number of items ready for the babies being born in case I have to feed them. I've got vinyl gloves in case she needs any help. I have 3 feeding syringes and some organic baby rice with no dairy in it, obviously. And I have a microwavable heat pad which is suitable for indoors. It's not the Snuggle Safe ones, it's a much bigger one. And I have alfalfa pellets, alfalfa hay, various green vegetables, which obviously she's getting at the moment, but the babies will also need as well, because a pregnant guinea pig and newborn babies don't eat the same food as the rest of your guinea pigs. You can see the little babies moving in her tummy there. If you look closely at her right hand side, you can see right now, you'll see some movements over just at where the ginger meets the white. Yeah, so that's why many people don't separate their pregnant guinea pig sows, but I recommend that you do, because they don't eat the same diet at all, and it's incredibly important that she's kept healthy. As you can see, she's having multiple babies. If she hadn't been kept fit and healthy, then the chances are she would only have 1 to 3 babies. While 3 babies is a perfectly decent litter, if your guinea pig has 1 or 2 babies, it does mean that she hasn't been healthy through pregnancy and isn't fit to be carrying babies. And that's just a fact of life. That's not me telling you didn't look after your guinea pig, which you may not have done, or you may not have known. I know a lot of people don't know that their guinea pigs are pregnant, but yeah, that's just the fact of life. If she wasn't healthy enough to carry a baby, she doesn't have many, and you actually run the risk of them dying in birth. She'll probably be okay, but will probably lose quite a lot of weight. So yeah, this is the cage she's in, and as you can see, this is the mess of the fleece overnight. I use oh bless her, trying to hop in. I use fleece when the guinea pigs are pregnant and when they have their babies, because firstly I don't think it's very fair for babies to be born on bedding, because then they're going to get dust and possible bacteria and things up their noses, where their umbilical cord is as well. Obviously that's unavoidable with the litter tray, but there has to be somewhere that's slightly cleaner for the hay to go. So yeah, and when the babies are born, keeping them on bedding just isn't really possible because their droppings are so small. They're actually smaller than a hamster's poos, and it's really, really hard to clean them out the bedding, so it's incredibly hygienic if you just leave all those tiny droppings in the bedding, and it's not good for their respiratory systems. So I use fleece, and it gets changed every night before I go to bed, because if she has them over, I would like them to be born on something a little bit cleaner. And as you might have noticed, there's no toys and tunnels in here because she's reached that stage where firstly she doesn't want to play, and secondly she's not actually able to play. As you can see, her stomach's moving a bit there. I think she's actually started contractions this morning, so I won't take up too much of her time. We're keeping her cage quite cosy and things. She was in what we call the nursery cage, which was a zoo zone cage, but we found putting her in the larger cage she was a lot happier. So yeah, she's drinking and eating well, and obviously I need to go and top up her hay and give her some fresh water. She gets fresh water 2 to 3 times a day because I'm not working at the moment since it's still the holidays, and obviously food and whatever whenever she wants, and vegetables as well. She really loves her green vegetables, which is really good, so she can get plenty. Spinach, broccoli, kale is her ultimate favourite. So yeah, that's everything. There's obviously puppy pads at the bottom, fleece, and then puppy pads on top. And then this is her cuddle cup here. She just wallows around in there all day. So hopefully there will be some updates soon, and I will let you know when the babies are born and let you see those. But as you can see, she's in really good health and really good condition, and you can see from the movements in her stomach, if you have a good eye, you'll see her stomach moving a little bit there. Ooh, that's the focus. So they are ready to come. Her pelvis is almost at 2 centimeters. So as you can see, she's incredibly wide at the back, and we think she'll at least be having 3 to 4 babies, if not more. So we shall leave her alone because we don't like to disturb her too much because the time is coming near. So I will film another video when the babies arrive. Okay, bye guys.